So what is this thing that I'm calling a BoostPack? Let me just tell you the story behind this. Here about 3 weeks ago I went in to have the oil changed on my car. And I've just been running a traditional car battery in there, and of course doing a full service oil change. The guys checked the cranking amps on the battery. He comes back and tells me, you only got about 200 cranking amps in this battery, and going into winter you're not going to be able to start on a cold morning. I was sitting there kind of just imagining, what I could do with 200 cranking amps, but then the realization set in, what, I really ought to take care of this, and I don't see any sense on buying another traditional car battery. These things are so full of lead. They're heavy. So I set about to build my own car battery replacement, and the result was this thing that I'm calling a BoostPack. These are these BoostCap Maxwell ultra capacitors. I got these for $6 a piece, and I've got 6 of them in this, and they're connected in series. And this will give me up to 15 volts. This usually runs around 14 volts when I have it in the car. Man, I have been testing this thing for the last 2 weeks in my car, and it has just worked great. When I first started testing it, I put it in there and I took jumper cables with me, like ready to use at any time. But after 2 weeks of using this in my daily commuter car, I built a lot of faith up in this system. I'm really excited about it. Okay, one thing to notice about the traditional car battery is the weight that we have here. We've got 30 pounds of weight on this car battery, and the BoostPack that I built up, it weighs in at just a hair over 5 pounds, under 10 pounds. There's a significant weight savings, and that weight savings is important. That can translate into increased miles per gallon. Okay, so this looks like it's pretty much ready to test. I'm just going to point out a few things. I've went ahead and ordered what's called a battery brain. It'll shut this off at 11.8 volts. I think for this system, that's too high. I need to build something adjustable, because when this thing gets down around 10 volts, this thing still has plenty of cranking amps to start my motor here. This thing just, the amperage doesn't taper off the same way with voltage as it does in a regular battery. But anyway, let's go ahead and start the car, and we'll test this. One of the things I really like about this setup is how nice and quick the car starts. This has plenty of amperage to keep the car happy, and just really nice system. I've been testing this 2 weeks. Sometimes I left the car 3-4 days during one period just down and didn't drive it, and came back and started right up just like that, folks. So I think that was 3 starts. Let's do a couple more quickly, and then let's go look at the voltage. So if you notice, we were not giving the alternator very much time to recharge the BoostPack here, but let's go ahead and check this out. And we're at 12.64 volts, about 12.6 volts. So that gives you an idea of the way this behaves. One thing I want to show you here is how quickly this will charge back up to 14 volts as the car's running. So I'm going to start it, and we'll get out here quickly and take a look at that. Okay, let's start this up. Alright, let's get out here. Watch this, folks. That is just charging right back up to 4 volts. And that's literally how fast this pack recharges. And you can hear the draw on the alternator dropping off as it comes up to 14 volts here. So within minutes of starting your car, you're topped off again, right back where you want to be at 14. And this car comes out around 14.8 volts, and that's usually where it settles down at. So right now I've got the headlights on. I know you probably can't see that. I've got the AC on. So the headlights are just burning out. They're drawing down our voltage on this battery bank. I've got the AC on, so I go ahead and start. That's going to engage. Let's try this out. Oh, I love the sound of that start. You know what it is even though the headlights were left on, and let me just get out here and show you that. So even though we have these headlights on out here, and headlights going, let me go ahead and flip those on high beams. Let's just really test the system here. So now we got the high beams on. So got the high beams on here. We're really drawing down the voltage on this pack. We're down to 10 volts, and dropping. Let's go ahead and start this car up. 10 volts and dropping. I don't know, we're probably at 9 volts. I got the AC on. Listen to this. Starts right up. Oh, that's what I love about this this BoostPack. So we're going to test this on some other vehicles. I'm going to build up 2 more units. Since I only paid $6 a piece for these caps, you know, we're building these in at a really cheap price. You know, they should be coming out $50 to $100. I'm going to give some of these to some friends. I have a friend who commutes between states with his job a lot. I'm going to give one to him, see if he sees an increase in gas mileage. I'm going to give one to a guy that I know is driving a big Grand Jeep Cherokee. And we're going to test these things pretty hard. And I'll come back with an update here later and see how these do, you know. Go a couple months into winter here testing these, but so far I'm just really happy, and I'm going to be very happy never to have to buy another one of these, you know, and have to deal with the recycling and all the lead that's in these things and all the weight that I've been lugging around. If you think about the amount of weight, pounds of lead I've been hauling around for, you know, thousands of miles, when I could have been hauling this little unit here that weighs in at about 5 pounds. So that's it, folks. Let's all keep experimenting. Okay, I just want to point out another use case for a boost pack like this. In a small off-the-grid workshop or something along that line, these would come in really handy if you don't run a prolonged load. I'm going to show some testing here with the drill press. But if you're the type of person that has a workshop where you just flip on a drill press for, you know, a minute, 2 minutes, flip it off, and then come back later to work on something else, maybe you need to power a belt sander for a couple minutes later, one of these you could actually get by with, because the solar panel tops these back up really quick. And you know, with millions of charge-discharge cycles like you've got on these, this could be a really interesting off-the-grid workshop application. Not so good if you run power tools for a prolonged period, though. Anyway, let me just show you what I'm talking about. I've got the power coming from this small 13-watt solar panel, and I just laid it here in the car windshield. This is one of those portable 13-watt fold-up panels. So anyway, I set that there. It's topped this this BoostPack right back up to 14 volts here in I don't know, 10-20 minutes. And 15 volts would be the maximum capacity of this particular BoostPack. But anyway, let me just disconnect it from there and connect my inverter here. And I'm just connecting this to the drill press. So we got power here. And I'm just going to go ahead and run this drill press and just see what kind of time and workload we can get from this. So 3/4 inch plywood, pulled a nice 1/2 inch hole through there, running some lighting here on the operation. Now if I was just flip this back off and if I had this still connected to that solar panel, in just a matter of minutes this would top right back up. But you know what, let's test this here. I'm going to flip this back on. It's not connected to the solar panel. Let's just do some more work with it. We'll do some more work, keep the light on, we'll see what kind of runtime we can just get out of this here. Okay, you can hear the inverter start to squeal there. That means we're starting to get into some low voltage. But you can see I drilled 6 holes there and had the light on the whole time, and not bad. You know, this BoostPack, if I connect this back up to the the solar panel, and this thing's going to be charged up again in just a matter of minutes. So you can hear now the load of the light is bringing this down. So I'm going to disconnect that, and you know, just connecting this back up to the solar panel, and you know, just come back here a little while later and have another charged BoostPack to do some more work with. So I think that's really cool. I think that's a cool application for something like this. And you just saw a very practical demonstration of the amount of power you can get in a few minutes from the sun for free. And you know, if you had another one of these BoostPacks connected in parallel in a workshop, you really could have a nice solar application and actually eliminate traditional batteries altogether. Just be using a boost cap, you know, what I'm calling a BoostPack, to replace traditional battery in a small off-the-grid solar workshop. It would be a great application. And you know what? I may do it myself, because most of the time when I'm working my workshop, I use a, you know, flip on a drill press for a few minutes, run a soldering iron for, you know, 5 minutes, whatever. I think this would cover 90% of my my needs right here. So anyway, thought that was interesting. So besides just using it in my car, it's got practical application for, you know, quick charging off-the-grid workshops and other things along that line. When it works so well for, you know, running the lights at night, where you want to set in and run lights for 2-3 hours at a time or things along that line, but still has great practical value.